Let's go straight to questions.
All right. Questions? Oh, Dino.
I just, since breaking down the film was Saturday, how's the team responded from that going into this week?
We had a nice meeting over the weekend, and we went through every play. It was very detailed and very intense.
Mark?
Coach, the perception would be that, it's a severe blow to the confidence when you lose like that. Is it, and how big a job is it to get them back to where they need to be this week?
Did you say a severe blow to the conference, or did you say this our football team?
Confidence of the team.
The confidence of the team. When you lose like that, it's time to check your whole card, that's for sure. Yes, sir.
So how big a challenge is it for you to get them where they need to be?
I don't know about the challenge. If you've got something in you, you're going to respond.
Mario?
When you look at a team like Clemson and what they've been able to do over this last 4 years, does it kind of put you in awe of what they've been able to accomplish?
You know, I look at that team and I think that I think about the Miami Dolphins going undefeated in the National Football League, and it's only been done once. You always get a team that gets close and something happens and, they get a loss. They may get a Super Bowl ring, but they don't go undefeated. What they did going undefeated, I think, is extremely impressive. We've had other college football teams going undefeated before, but to me, that's a heck of an accomplishment. And now they're on their second run with an opportunity to do it again. And I'm not quite sure I've ever seen a team do it twice back-to-back. The analytic guys have to check that. But it's been very, very impressive, and they have a very high statistical opportunity to do it again.
Not just going back-to-back and being undefeated, but the way he's been able to structure that program, is that, the epitome is Alabama, the Clemsons, the Notre Dames. Is that the standard in your mind of what things need to be done?
I think the biggest thing is where he came from. Alabama's been Alabama for a long time. Ohio State's been Ohio State for a long time. If I'm not mistaken, I could be. I've been mistaken a little bit in the last 7 days. That last 10, 15 years, Clemson wasn't like that. South Carolina was better than Clemson. And now all of a sudden, all people do is talk about Clemson in that state. I think that when you look at what's happened since he's got there from day one and what he does now is truly amazing.
Steven?
Got to ask about the injured guys. Heard last week you said Sam Heck was about 50-50, and then he didn't make the trip. How's he doing, and what are the chances he plays against Clemson?
I would say that the chances are that he won't play, but I won't say he's out.
Okay. Then McKinley, we saw him still rolling around out there. Is he on track for this weekend?
I'm waiting to see the doctors. We're going to see what happens.
So you would assume even if he is available, he will probably be limited and having not played.
I don't want to give those guys too much information. I'll just leave it at that.
Nico? So obviously, as tough as it was, can it be almost, I don't want to jump the town or anything here, but can it almost be like a wake-up call, like when a boxer gets hit in the face and comes back kind of thing, that wakes these guys up and kind of, gets them to put things together going forward?
All right, Nico, I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
You ready? Have you ever been knocked out before?
Oh, no.
I have. And when you wake up, the blues are blues, the reds are reds. Everything seems clearer than you've ever had it before. It's like rebooting your entire computer. I'm not saying go do this just to see how the feeling is, but it's really kind of eye-opening. Okay? It's kind of like being knocked out, and then you wake up. So we're gonna see how we do. Maybe we reboot it. Maybe everything is okay. We're gonna have to see.
Mario?
Along those lines of being knocked out, but is it good to, not good, you're facing the #1 team in the nation, but to be on your feet and get on your feet and know that the challenge ahead of you is even stiffer?
I wouldn't know if it was stiffer. I think we have a big test. What we just went through was big. That was big. And now we have another opportunity against the best team in the country. So we'll have to see how we do.
Steven?
Kind of curious when you went back through the tape and looked at the offensive line. You said that group would need to get better. What did you see from them, and then how much of this is we need to figure out ways to work around that issue?
We have to find ways to win. That's what we do. And I think it's easier to find ways when the elephants are full grown and the hippos are full grown. And they need to grow up. And there's no way to get around it. We've got big games early in our season, and we've got young offensive linemen. Oh well, no one's dropping a tear for us. They're going to get better as we play along, and we need to find ways to win with them.
Mark?
If you think back to the last two times you played Clemson, obviously you beat them here, you almost beat them, maybe should have beat them down.
I can think back 3 times because I can think about the first quarter as well.
Well, let's just go with that. And Clemson this year at media day said, yeah, Syracuse seems to figure something out with us. Does that come into play at all this week, that your guys know that you've beaten this team, you've almost beaten them in their place?
They are from a no, I don't think it has anything to do with it. They've changed up. They've done some things. Their personnel is a lot different. Okay, I'm not going to say they're a lot younger. They move around. They're extremely fast, and as young, their defense got a lot younger, but their offense got a lot older. And then there goes that balance once again. You know, they could really get after you defensively. Not that they still can't, and not that other teams still can't do that. But they are so good on offense now that you have a limit of time in the game to get them. And if you don't keep pace with that offense, the game is over. You know, it's almost, you got to hit them just right. It's Buster Douglas versus Tyson. If you don't hit them with the uppercut, you're going to get knocked out. There goes that word again. So I'm not sure. I haven't seen any team be able to do it. I saw what they did to Alabama, and they got a lot more coaches and a lot more things than we have. And they were playing for a big old ring. And I think they were both undefeated when they were playing them, I think. Not sure about Alabama's record. So they're really, really good. We're probably seeing one of the best teams of an era that you're going to see.
So you wouldn't say you guys have figured it out again?
I think this is a totally different situation.
Steve?
Linebackers are the group I wanted to ask you about. Much stiffer challenge in week 2 than week 1 when you went back through the film. What did you see from Lakeem and Andrew and Mike Howell?
I think it's not just calling certain individuals. I thought the entire defense played extremely hard. I mean, when we watched it, I'm like, I was really, this is going to sound crazy, I was proud about the way they played. They played hard. Now, playing hard and not being in the right place still adds up to the same score, okay? There was effort. They didn't give up, but they're in the wrong place with the wrong calls, and there's missed tackles. And when there's not communication, when the communication is not received and you're missing tackles, it's going to make you look really, really bad. And that happened on offense, defense, and on some of the special teams.
Was Maryland's tempo part of that? Getting maybe the information across quickly enough?
I think we said the information, we didn't receive it. So like I can speak and you can hear me, but if you're not really listening to what I'm saying, you're not gathering the information that you need to gather. So I just think that we need to communicate better and make sure that the other guy's receiving it.
In the back?
Dino, one of the things that you guys focus on is the game, but John was in here just about 45 minutes ago talking about everything surrounding it, the ESPN, the fact that it's a home opener, you've got so many people coming in, this is going to be an ESPN game. You're focused on the game, but what do you think overall this does to promote the brand and just get exposure to people nationwide that still have questions and wonder about this program?
Okay, there's 2 answers. Here's the first answer. I'm excited about the brand. I'm excited about what it represents. I'm excited that we're going to get a game nationally for our community, for our student body, for this university. I'm excited about that. And hopefully we're going to play in such a manner that they're going to be proud of our performance. The second part of this question, which you didn't ask, is I'm totally locked in on this football team. And we need to make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do to get better. And that is my focus, because the football team is the core, okay, of the football branding of this university. And I want to make sure that we're doing our part to represent this school the correct way.
Nico?
Similar question. Obviously, you're lacking on the game, but less than 175 tickets. It's going to be the loudest it's been in there in 20 years. How much can that be an X factor and help with the noise in the crowd?
It could be huge. It really could. Like I said, I haven't experienced it yet. This could be really fun. It could be really cool. And it's also a lot of people watching you, and you want to put your best foot forward. Because when they go home, you hope that it was a performance that they can be proud of and the community can be proud of, regardless of what the score is.
Dino, last 2 times you played Clemson, I will note that you knocked out the quarterback both times. Obviously, just being effective pass rushing, you really struggled last week.
Can I interrupt? Which is rude, but can I interrupt? If you go back 3 years, they also knocked out a quarterback also. So if you go back to traditionally, a quarterback gets knocked out in this game.
Well, but on that point, with the pass rush struggling the way it did last week, and then sort of obviously breaking just the week before, do you trust that that's an aberration and hope that you can still generate that pressure on Trevor Lawrence with 4 or 5 men, or you don't look to generate pressure with blitzes and with different looks?
That's too much information to give a football team that hasn't lost since 2017. What we need to do, we had no pass rush. Okay, so we have to find a way to get a pass rush. You don't let an NFL quarterback stand back there and just, you've got to try to find a way to get some kind of pressure on him, or it's going to be a long day. I don't know how we're going to do that yet because they're really good at protecting him, and rightfully so. And we wouldn't be the first football team that's played him and tried to put pressure on him. And when the game was over, feel empty-handed when it comes to that they really didn't get an opportunity to touch him. I had an opportunity of playing, I want to say Jim McMahon. I want to say it was Jim McMahon. We were at Hawaii and BYU, and I actually touched him on a play, and which is very unusual to touch a BYU quarterback. And I still remember the words that he was using to describe the tackle on what was going to happen to him if I ever touched him again. He congratulated me on touching him, and then he started ripping the tackle and I'm sitting there going, wow. I didn't even know those combinations went together like that. And that's kind of how it was amazing, and BYU won the game. But that's kind of how he's protected. I mean, Game of Thrones, he's got a castle, he's got a moat, he's got some dragons. That dude's protected. So, and you really don't get his chance unless he comes out of the pocket. When he comes out of the pocket, he's athletic. He's fast, and he might throw better on the move than he does in the pocket. I mean, he's the real deal. So I hope we can put some pressure on him, but there's a lot of teams that have played him and they haven't been able to do it.
So to follow up, probably maybe is the single greatest emphasis this week or one of the biggest emphases for the team?
You can say it's an emphasis, but I don't even know if it's realistic. We'll try. We'll try.
Speaking of quarterbacks on the move, I wanted to ask you about Tommy and kind of his decisions in the RPO game and when he's scrambling. What did you kind of want to see from him in regard to using his legs, and does that change, given how the first couple weeks have went?
I think the big thing with him is he needs to be smart. Your whole goal of your quarterback is not to get hurt. Last year we had Dungy, and everyone said we ran too much and we used him too much. And one time we had him go out on a pass, and how crazy are we to send him out as a pass? He's our quarterback. Now our quarterback doesn't run, and everybody wants us to make sure our quarterback does run. The key is that whoever you start the season with, if you finish the season with them, you have an opportunity for a fantastic season. And then you've got to figure all that other stuff out in between.
What's it like to see how, obviously teams are playing Tommy different than Eric, but when you're running RPOs and maybe when he goes out of the pocket and defensive backs aren't leaving the receivers, how much harder, I guess, what's the adjustment process like, and how much time do you think is gone into that for you guys?
I think we're going to be okay. I think he's coming along great. I think he's moving along at a pace that's acceptable to me, and I think I think things are going to get better and better and better for us. I think we're right there where we're supposed to be.
Last 2 questions, Josh and Mario.
Coach, we're kind of feature on Chris Elmore. Can you just describe the element that he brings to your offense and just what he means to your locker room overall as a leader?
He's got his own nickname, Rhino. He's a very, very physical player. Our first, here's a Rhino story for you. A lot of people won't know this story. Rhino's playing as a freshman, and he runs through, Zaire will get mad on this one. He's running through, and Zaire goes to hit him, and Rhino is probably going at a different speed, then Zaire was going and really got Zaire good. And, you know, he's a freshman trying to make his way, and Zaire's looking at him like, do you know who in the heck you're messing with? And so Zaire came up and said, Coach, run the same play. And I'm sitting going, Zaire, come on now. I'm all right, run the same play again. And, you know, yeah, Rhino's, yeah. And he runs through the hole again, and Zaire welcomes him to college football. And Rhino's helmet's halfway out, and he's got some moisture on his face that he probably needs to wipe off, and it wasn't spit. And, I mean, it was an ACC welcome to college football hit. But when Rhino took off his helmet with his mouth bleeding, he was all about going again. And that's when we knew we had the right guy. And when Rhino said, do it again, and Zaire was looking at him like he was about to end his, I said, we're not doing it again. This is where we stopped. And we stopped. And they were friends, but they're very, very competitive, and they're both very, very physical players. That's Chris Elmore.
Mario?
Obviously, you focused on the quarterback and what Lawrence can do, but do you feel that their offense goes through Etienne and what he was able to do last year against you guys and the challenge that awaits you now?
Man, he's good. Is he good? Is he good? Wow. Yeah. He is an amazing back. He's big. He's fast. He's smart. He's a really good blocker. He's a good receiver. And what was that, 96 yards and blah, 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 2 forward passes, 1 on 4th down. I think the other one was a horizontal or a bubble, and you just turned around and handed him the ball. I mean, he's an NFL player in college football. He's a fantastic guy, good person, big, solid dude. You think about him, all you want to do is smile and hope you had 2 or 3 just like him. Big-time player.
When you see that, you know, the emphasis last week, you said it was poor tackling, you know, against Maryland, and now you got to face a guy like this. Is it all right, fellas? You know, we got to strap on those chin straps and play an emphasis to this week.
You know, that's what football's all about. You run across some guys that are different, and if there's something different about you, you get excited about that, and you know, you hope that you can do something that, you know, that you can talk about later. Normally, it doesn't work out your way. There's a reason they're like that, you know. Jim Brown was like that. Oh, I got a chance to hit Jim Brown. There's a reason why normally it didn't work out well for you if you were hitting Jim Brown, okay? He was a special, special guy, and we've had a bunch of special backs like that. And, you know, and Clemson has one. That guy is special. You know, he'll be playing in the league. Hopefully we got a story that we can say that we did good against him one time. But there's not going to be too many stories like that written about him. That's for sure.
Thanks very much, Coach.
You guys have a good one.